Let's dig even deeper into this idea that your product page needs to actually do the selling. Now, when I say do the selling, I don't mean it should push or pressure. I mean, it should do what a good salesperson would do if they were standing face to face with your customer. Think about it. A great salesperson doesn't just list the feature of a product. They don't just say, here is a bottle, it's 1 liter, it's blue, it costs 700 rupees. That's not selling, that's describing a product. A great salesperson would say something like, this bottle is double insulated, so whether you're going on a hike or you're going to office, your water stays cold for 18 hours, and it fits in your backpack or your car cup holder without leaking. It's been our best seller for a reason. So do you notice what changed here? Nothing about the product itself, just how it was framed. And that's the job your product page needs to do. It needs to make someone feel the value, not just see the specifications. But, you know, here's the challenge. Online, there is no voice, no facial expressions, no tone, no energy from a salesperson. All you have is a layout, copy, images, and a button. So those things have to carry the entire weight of the sale. And most stores don't give them nearly enough attention. They focus on the hero banner, the Instagram grid, the homepage design, and the product page. That's treated like a box to fill in. But here's the truth, the product page is the real conversion engine. If you're running ads and people are clicking through but not buying, 9 times out of 10, the problem is on the product page. It's not that. It's not your audience. It's the landing experience. So think of it in this way. Your product page isn't a box, it's a stage. And your product, that's the star. Your job is to set the lighting, set the scene, remove distractions, and let that product shine. Now, uh, I want to talk about something subtle but very powerful, something most people don't notice consciously, but it changes how they feel about your store the moment they land. And that's what I called emotional friction. It's not something that jumps out at you, it's a feeling. It's that sense of unease when a page looks slightly amateur, or the colors are off, or the text looks it was copy pasted from somewhere else. So that kind of friction doesn't show up in analytics dashboards, but it shows up in behavior. You'll see it in the bounce rates and hesitation in dropped carts. People don't always know why they don't trust a store, but they feel it. It's a very instinctive feeling, and a lot of that comes from the product page. That's why clarity matters more than cleverness. Good images matter more than fancy animations. The real, honest writing beats fluffy brand speak. People are looking for signals. Can I trust this? Is this real? Will I get what I see? So, when you build your product page, keep asking yourself, am I making this person feel more confident or more confused? Every scroll, every ambition, every section, every image, it's either building trust or eroding it. So let's stay on that idea for a second. And because trust is really the foundation of everything in digital commerce. And the sad reality is people don't trust uh, online. They have seen fake reviews, they have seen cheap looking drop shipping stores, they have been burned before. So even if your product is amazing, even if your service is rock solid, you're still starting from zero in their mind. You have to earn their trust. And you earn it through promises, but not through promises, but through presentations. Show that you care, show that you have thought about these questions before they asked. For example, don't wait for someone to message you asking about returns. Put that info right on the page. Easy 7-day returns, no questions asked. Don't make them wonder if it fits their lifestyle. You need to paint a picture for them. It's perfect for morning jogs, weekend hikes, or just staying hydrated at your desk. When people feel understood, they relax, and when they relax, they buy. So let me share something that might help you approach this whole idea differently. Do not think of your product page as a static piece of content. Think of it like a conversation that's happening in real time, a one-on-one chat with the person on the other side of the screen. They've clicked an ad or typed in your URL or maybe followed a recommendation from a friend, and now they're here. They're curious and they're asking you, so tell me about this. What would you say if you were standing in front of them? You probably won't start by reading specs or rattling off product codes, right? You would ask what they're looking for. You would talk benefits, not features. You would listen for hesitation and respond with reassurance. Your product page should feel like that. Now I know it's definitely not a live chat. It's not even AI. But you can anticipate. You can guide. You can make the experience feel personal. Even in your product page, small things can make a difference, like showing that a product is back in stock or over 1000 sold. These give subtle cues of moment, trust, demand. So it tells the shopper other people are buying this too, you're not alone. Let's talk about so let's talk about imagery for a moment, because this is where a lot of stores go wrong. You don't need Hollywood level photography, but your images needs to be feel real and clear. Show the product from multiple angles, at least 5 to 6 angles. Then show how it looks when it is used. Show the packaging if that matters to you. And wherever possible, include images of people actually using the product. Why? Because people trust people. Seeing someone wear the shirt, use the device, hold the product, that does more than a fancy flat lay ever could. And if you're worried about cost, you don't need a big shoot. Even a well lit smartphone photo with a genuine customer works better than a stock image that feels generic. So, something to really think about: what makes someone go from interesting to okay, I'm buying this? It's not always logic. In fact, it's rarely logic. It's often a small spark, a moment where everything just lines up. The product looks right, the story feels right, the price makes sense, the reviews feel honest, the button is there. It's the flow that you have created for the customer. The, and that is your ultimate goal with a product page: not to push, not to persuade, but to create that flow. One where the person doesn't have to overthink, where the next steps always feel obvious, where the product feels like the answer to a problem they may not have fully realized they had. And when that flow works, magic happens. People add to cart, people check out, people come back, and the best thing, people tell others. And that is the word of mouth you have to need to survive. That's the kind of product page you want. Not just one that converts once, but one that creates momentum. So before we move into writing this product descriptions, I want to say one last thing. Your product page is not just a sales tool, it's your brand's handshake. It's often the first real impression someone has of you. They didn't see your founder story, they didn't browse your about page, they didn't scroll your Instagram, they saw an ad, they clicked, now they're here. And in those first 15 seconds, they are deciding not just whether to buy this product, but whether to trust your brand at all. So treat your product page with that level of care. Make it feel human, make it feel helpful, make it feel like a store you would want to shop at. If you do that, you truly make your product page do the selling. Everything else you build will perform better. Your ads will convert higher, your repeat purchases will go up, your brand loyalty will grow, because you're not just selling now, you're creating an experience worth returning to. Now, let's get into the heart of that selling experience, the words, because next up we are going to dive deep into how to write a product description that actually convert. So, let's go. Now let's get into the heart of that selling experience, the words, because this is where a lot of brands fumble. You have a great product, you have clean images, your pricing is spot on, but then the product description, it either feels copy pasted or too vague or just boring. And that's a missed opportunity because the words you choose, the way you talk to your customer, that's where the emotional connection really happens. Now, I want you to forget everything you've seen about product descriptions being professional or formal or full of technical jargon. Forget everything. We are not writing for a boardroom. We are not writing for search engines. We are writing for a real person sitting on their phone, maybe half distracted, wondering if this product is worth their money. That's who you're talking to. And your job is simple, make them feel like they have found what they were looking for. So let's start here. When you sit down to write a description, don't start with features, start with a real life moment. Start by asking, what is someone doing when they actually use this? If you're selling a portable blender, don't open with a 400 ml capacity and USB-C charging. That's not what grabs someone attention. Instead, lead with the moment, making a smoothie between Zoom calls. This compact blender goes wherever you do, office, gym, or weekend getaways. Do you see the shift here? Now the buyer can picture it, they're imagining their routine, they're seeing themselves in the story, and that's when the product starts to feel relevant. Now, once you have established that connection, then you bring in the specifications, but you don't weave them into the story. You don't just say double wall vacuum insulation. You say your coffee stays hot for 6 hours, no reheating, no burnt taste. Just the same cozy sip, even on your 4 p.m. break. What you're doing here is not just informing, you're guiding a feeling. That's the real power of a product description. It makes someone feel like they already own the product, like it's already part of the day. So let us pause here for a second and talk about the tone of your content. It is one of the biggest traps. Trying to sound too fancy or too corporate. Your customers isn't grading your grammar. Definitely, they are not. They're asking, do I get what this is? Does it feel right for me? So you need to keep it conversation. If you wouldn't say a phrase out loud to a friend, don't write it on your page. You wouldn't say utilizes patented micro thread compression technology. You would say gives your leg gentle all day support whether you are at your desk or on your feet. It's friendly, it's visual, and it builds trust because it feels human. So now we'll talk about that when you're stuck writing like you are answering a question. Here, a little trick I use when I'm helping brands with their product copy. Imagine your potential buyer standing in front of you, asking, will this actually work for me? Is it good quality? How does it feel? Why is it better than the cheaper one which I saw yesterday? Now, your job is to answer those questions without sounding defensive and without overselling. For example, instead of saying premium quality, which says nothing specific, say this is crafted from 100% organic cotton, soft on skin, gentle on the planet, and built to last 100 plus washes. That's specific, it is visual, and it can make the buyer go, okay, I can trust that. Now, one thing I want you to avoid is what I call filler phrases. Those are those vague, overused lines that don't actually say anything, which are like perfect for every occasion, designed with love, best in class. They sound nice, but they don't stick. Instead, be concrete. Tell me how it feels in the hand. Tell me how it changes my routine. Tell me what makes it different from five other tabs I've opened right now. That's what makes a product description memorable. Specificness. Let's say now you're selling a face serum instead of hydrates and nourishes skin with powerful ingredients. Try packed with hydrochloronic acid, and this lightweight serum pulls moisture deep into your skin, giving you that dewy post facial glow every morning. So now we're talking, it's not just about what the product does, it's about how it makes the buyer feel. And when they feel that little, oh, I want that moment, they're sold. So now let us talk about structure. One of the best formats I've ever used is the two-part layout. Part one, the short summary. This lives above the fold, the price and add to cart button. Think of this as your quick pitch. Just two or three short lines that hooks the visitor right away. Then definitely the part two, the full story, which goes on below. This is where you expand. You talk benefits, ingredients, sizing, usage tips, FAQs, whatever you think your buyer needs to be fully informed about. And why do you think this works? Because the top section pulls them in, the bottom section convinces the hesitant ones. If they're already 90% sure that top section is enough, uh, if they're still comparing or skeptical, they will definitely scroll, and the second section will help you close the deal. Now, let's say you're selling a yoga mat. Your top section could say ultra grip, sweat proof, and built for daily practice. This mat keeps you grounded through every pose. Then the full story below could dive into material details, weight, whether it rolls up easily, how to clean it, and what kind of yoga it is best for. You're layering the information now. You're not overwhelming the buyer, but you're also not underselling the product. So, one last thing before we pause on this, don't forget who you're writing for. You're writing for your buyer, so speak their language. If you're selling tech accessories to Gen Z, be playful, be punchy, keep it short. If you're selling luxury skincare, be elegant, confident, and soothing. If you're selling home tools to working parents, focus on practicality, durability, and ease. Match the tone to the tribe. When people read your copy and think, this brand gets me, that's when trust is born. So, product descriptions are not boring, they're not a chore. They're your voice in the customer's head. And if this done right, they can just be as powerful as any ad or any influencer shout out. So now in the next chart, we are going to explore a few live examples, and I'll walk you through before and after rewrites to show you exactly how these principles play out on real products.